out with some classic Asian dishes. Spicy cucumbers is what we're making first. Now, this is a very basic dish, and it's good for my cholesterol, according to my cardiologist. So let's go about doing it. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a home tour while we're here. We're actually in the bedroom. I don't know if you guys can see kind of this area here. The bedrooms are not actually connected to the house, but that's really common out here. So let's get started. So we're gonna get some cucumbers out of the ref or the refrigerator, depending on what kind of Asian you are, is what you will call it. Here, things in Manila or in the Philippines, they're often taken from their full word, like refrigerator, and turned into ref, or low battery is low bat, and there's many other situations where that happens. You're going to see this isn't what I would normally use to cut a cucumber up, but in this case, we're doing it. Let's see if you guys can see the cutting board here. So in America, I have several cutting boards, starting with the, one for chicken, one for beef, one for fish, and of course, one for vegetables. That stuff just doesn't happen here. So there's just one cutting board. It's kind of for everything. And I wash the vegetables in tap water, so we're gonna have to just take a second to find something to dry it, because we don't want to be even a drop of tap water. So we want to make sure this is nice and dry. No tap water in our food, even though we are going to put this into, excuse me. Even though we are going to put this into vinegar, we don't want to screw around. These are not my knives. These are knives for the Airbnb. So please don't judge me on how, what's the word I'm looking for, on just how dull these knives are. They are really something. It's going to take me quite a long time to cut this cucumber. This wouldn't be the case in America, simply because we sharpen our knives there. We take our time with cuts. People feel like if you're a real chef, your knives are these very expensive tools that are super sharp. I think that you can get a cheap knife set, but as long as you take care of that cheap knife set and they're sharp, you're able to sharpen them, and you take the time to learn about sharpening your knives, you really can have a good knife set inexpensive. They're almost always going to come right from the factory, dull. It just saves them a lot of litigation when they ship them. Plus, they can just produce them faster. I have a set of ceramic knives made by Cuisinart that I don't think I paid more than $20 for. And when I first got them, they were garbage. They were like a different color for each size, which I really liked. They came with their own guard. But just after about 5 minutes worth of sharpening, I really had a great set of knives on my hands. And it took me a few times of going through YouTubes and actually learning how to chop, learning how to cut, that really changed how my meals were made and that presentation. So again, if you're joining us just now, I see you there. This is Gorilla in Manila, and we are in Manila today, and we're making breakfast. We're making a classic Asian dish here. We're making spicy cucumbers with a very, very dull knife. So these thin cuts are taking a little longer. And we're just enjoying our morning so far. Let me see if the boss can get some coffee started. I don't know, the cameraman's still sleeping. Let me see if I can pause it just for a second. Good morning, Ate. Magandang umaga. So we're gonna see if the cameraman can make some coffee. Hey, cameraman, can you get on some coffee, my friend? Thank you. So he's gonna go take care of that. That's really awesome. Normally I'd be jumping right on the coffee myself, except they decided to make a kind of coffee I don't know how to make. So, but that's what we pay them for. Hold the camera and make coffee. And since they are not holding the camera, they have two hands to make some coffee. I tell you, this is one of my favorite breakfasts. Spicy cucumbers. They are what the kids would call their jam. Good morning, cameraman. Can we have some coffee? We're live right now, just so you can't swear.
Like coffee.
Well, were you going to make some coffee? I don't think he was going to make some coffee. What do you guys think? I think I'm making him do it. Is it okay that you're going to make some coffee?
Coffee?
Well, are you going to have a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, see what I'm doing here? He was going to make himself a cup of coffee anyways, and now they just have to make two, right? Or in this case, maybe just pour a little bit of yours into a cup. Don't want to have too much. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
Magandang umaga. Magandang hapon? Magandang hapon, Eric. These are just other people within my Airbnb. They're just kind of getting their morning started a little late as well. And again, we're still making breakfast. And we're focusing on just a little healthier breakfast every day. My cardiologist said that my cholesterol is through the roof, which I don't doubt because we eat a lot of meats. And that's just really common for us. Vegetables here in the Philippines and fruits are very expensive. So we decided through my nutritionist to do one meal a day of just fruits and vegetables, and we've decided that's going to be breakfast. And this morning for breakfast, we are making spicy cucumbers, which is going to be cucumbers, vinegars, chilies. I think they're going to be serrano peppers. I'm not 100% sure what kind of peppers, but we're going to use a little apple cider vinegar, some coconut vinegar, some garlic, and just overall a lot of spices. But the key is going to be that apple cider vinegar, that coconut vinegar, and chilies. You know what? I made a command decision. We're going to go with, I think we're going to go with habanero peppers for these spicy cucumbers to start our morning. We've asked the cameraman to go ahead and get started on coffee, and I know he just turned the kettle on. I can hear it actually start. We have one of those turbo kettles, which I am not sponsored by, but I'm recommending to you, and that's going to be, you turn it on, and it instantly fires that heating brick up at the bottom of it, and it sounds a lot like a jet plane, even though there's no actual thrust being created. That unit heats up so quickly and then gets that water boiling. And what I like about this particular kettle more than I like for other ones, a lot of kettles that I've owned in the past here in the Philippines, as soon as that water actually starts to bubble, it stops. This one actually, you can set it for a rapid boil for up to 5 minutes, which it's really getting all the water to be boiled at that part, which gives us an opportunity to make sure that water is going to be safe to drink. Now, of course, we're going to try our product. This cucumber, or Tagalog word, pepino. Pepino is delicious. But if you guys can't get to a fresh, clean source of water, you can always get the blue jugs and go to your water distributor. There's usually about one on every other block here. It costs about 50 pesos to get your jug filled up. Sometimes even cheaper. I know they sell regular water and mineral water. They don't put fluoride into the water here, so I recommend the mineral water at least once a month to make sure you're getting your vitamins and mineral. Ooh, it's hot here in the kitchen. My kitchen does not have AC. It does have a lot of great windows with a nice breeze. I know you guys can't feel it, but maybe if I hold my shirt out, you can see my shirt moving a little bit. I'm going to just give you a little bit more kitchen tour. We got this door open, And we have that window open. Of course, there's a fan here, which I'm just going to kick on just to have a little bit easier time here in this kitchen. But there's a lot of great air movement. The rest of the kitchen I have to keep kind of bundled up. There is a screen door on everything but the back door, which I'd like to open. Right now there's a lizard problem. There's a bunch of little lizards running around. So we are keeping the doors closed because we don't want to keep those lizards on the outside. The cats really like to hunt those lizards. And once those lizards come in, those cats come in, those feral cats, and they'll start spraying stuff, trying to get to those lizards. And I frankly don't have time for that. So this Airbnb is owned by Koreans. That's a different kind of Asians than obviously Filipinos. So we're going to go with this very Korean Hawaiian plate. So it's set up more as a long plate. We're going to plate the cucumbers in elongation form, but we are going to break up these stacks. So we're going to try to get smaller ones, and then we're going to break up each one as we plate this. And what we want to do is get a cylinder of these, and we just want to push it off whatever cylinder it's on. And that way we can have a nice pretty plating of this plate. So we're just going to take a little time with our breakfast this morning. And by plating it this way, we can make sure that each cucumber gets the same amount of vinegar and spice. But also, by breaking these kind of stacks up, they won't, when you pick up one, you won't get 6. You'll only get 1 at a time. And that's going to let our breakfast last a little longer. So we want to just take the time and plate this the right way. Now, I overheard the host of the Airbnb saying something about they might have some leftover salmon. This is something that the gorilla never says no to. Free fish is free fish as long as it's still fresh fish. But I don't know how well that will do for my cholesterol, so we'll have to Google it before we accept it. But yeah, they do kind of a smoked salmon rolls here that are outstanding. It's for other guests, but they don't eat all of them all the time. So I'm happy to take the leftover. It's not something that the gorilla can afford to do every day, but if the other guests are not eating it, and I'm getting it for free, why not? But again, we do have to watch that cholesterol situation. And again, we're still just plating these cucumbers. And we already got our vinegar created. It's been sitting all night in the jar. We actually made it not last night. We got the vinegar. Oh, I would probably assume it was made months ago in the factory. But we went through a lot of vinegars until we found the one we want for just cucumbers, the one we want for our stews. So just like many Asian households, the cameraman and I have a whole tray of sauces for our different meals. And I see that the coffee's almost done. I really don't want a whole cup of coffee, but if you can pour a little bit of yours into my cup, I certainly won't be mad at you. He's cranky. That's what happens when a cameraman doesn't have coffee. Oh, I can see that he's listening. Do you hear it in the background? He's alive, they are. Okay, thank you for making me a full cup. Cameraman is on it. So we're going to let these cucumbers soak. I want to take another moment again, and of course, we're not sponsored by these guys, but we must have tried 100 different spiced vinegars before we got to this particular one. It's kind of common name or Tagalog name is spiced cocoa, and it really is. I'll give you guys this for just another minute. If you're planning on marinating your foods or making this spicy cucumber mix, save yourself some time and get it here. If you need a kosher version of it, you can just follow the ingredients list on their website, and you can make it yourself with kosher material or halal material. And then you can have one. I don't believe they make this one in kosher or halal, but it's going to be easy to replicate. Replicate. Nope. Guys, help me up with this. If you're repeating something and you're going to make it again, you want to replicate it. There we go. It's going to be easy to replicate. Wow, speech impediments are me today, huh? All right, well, I don't know if you can see this. I've already spread the spiced vinegar here. We're gonna give this a little push so we're making sure we're covering all of the cucumbers here. Looking delicious. So that actually has to sit for a full minute. I'm gonna give you a little tour of the Airbnb here. So one of my most favorite things here, even though it's a Korean Airbnb, they have a Japanese style pool and more importantly, soaking tub. This thing does take time to fill, but it's one of my most favorite things here is the soaking tub. The heater on it's a little small for the amount of gallons of water that it's taking, but with patience, you can get a great Japanese soak. Now, I have been in this pool now twice. I don't know if you can see it. And every time I've been in this pool, this one right here, I've always thought that this is a hot tub, but I can tell you right now, it's got no jets. So it's just another little tub. So if you're looking to stand in another little tub, when you're in this one, it's the same thing. But hopefully tonight, after a long day's work, we'll get to enjoy this Japanese soaking tub. So come with me, we'll do that live again. But that is the end of my morning. So on the Gorilla Manila, come try it.